Two fucks McDucks. Two dicks McLips. Two balls McFalls. We're not ready for this.
Sure we are.
All right. If you say so. Amusement parks in movies. Lights, camera, action.
So everybody knows the movie Rollercoaster, 1977. Just start with that one. Just start with the big kahuna. Because they went to a bunch of parks in that movie, rode a bunch of rides.
Rollercoaster.
George Segal.
George Siegel. Timothy Bottom.
Is it Bottom or Bottoms?
I don't know.
I think it's Bottoms.
Well, I guess that's funnier. It's more funny.
Yeah, it's Bottoms.
Timothy Bottoms.
Plays young man. Yeah, we never learn his name in the movie. I think that's kind of interesting.
Great film.
Yeah, I really like it. Not only just because it centers around theme parks and roller coasters and shit like that, but I genuinely think it's a pretty fun movie.
It's a fun romp through theme parks, you might say. No, it's a fun 70s action movie, just in itself.
Yeah.
Outside of the theme, regardless of where it took place, it's just fun. Well, I don't know if regardless of where if it took place in a mall, it might be kind of boring. I think it needs the theme park aspect.
Mm-hmm.
It just really took it to another level, and made it a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
What are we going to say about this?
Well, they go to the movie starts out at Ocean View Amusement Park.
Now, was that one mentioned by name in the movie? I know they make a big deal about King's Dominion and Magic Mountain.
Mm.
I kind of feel like Ocean View was... I know that was the real life location that they filmed, but wasn't it given a fake name? Am I wrong? Comment. Write us. I know that logo looks really familiar. Where have I seen that before?
I'm not sure if they mention it by name. I think they do.
They mention it's Ocean View? Where is that?
That's in...
Or where was that? Isn't it closed?
Yeah, interesting fact, that park closed up the next year after that film came out.
Oh,
in
man.
78.
People saw that roller coaster crashed and nobody wanted to go after that.
That was Norfolk, Virginia.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the coaster in the movie that they show is the Rocket.
The Rip Ride Rocket? Not the Phoenix?
No.
Wasn't that the Rocket in Texas?
Oh, yes. Yeah.
Aha!
You got me. Got me on that one.
Aha! That's Scrooged.
So they go there. The coaster goes off the rails because the Mad Bomber, young man, makes it happen. That's a great scene when the coaster comes off the tracks.
That is a great scene, as you say. That is probably my favorite roller coaster crash sequence that's ever been put on film. I don't know how many there really has been, probably not too many, but that one is my favorite. I think that's the best one. The attention to detail is just phenomenal. They loaded up what looks like real wood coaster trains with dummies and really launched them off some kind of a fake part of a roller coaster, I guess.
Yeah,
that's what it looks like. I know we've personally slowed it down, paused it, watched it on super slow-mo just to savor every little detail that's in there. And really, yeah, you see the dummies bopping around, and they look pretty lifelike at different points. And then...
Well, if you're sharp, you can catch it in real time. even. But
well, if you keep rewinding it and watching it,
well, if you keep doing that, you're definitely going to see it. I'm just saying
again, like we've done that in real time too, and then slowed it down a couple times, and it's really excellent. Again, the attention to detail. Obviously, it's a real practical stunt. It's 1977.
Right.
It's not CGI like it would be today, which really makes it awesome.
Mm-hmm.
And and then the cars violently, one of them or a couple of them crash into some kind of a building. Was it a game stand or a little food stand? And then some of the dummies get crushed by the cars as they turn over. And you see, I think one at least you see get like caught in and cry. It's really like the deaths that the people would have had are really brutal.
Yeah.
If you really break it down that way, it's really great. It's a great time. If you just sit there and play it super slow, and you catch every nuance. It's really excellent, and you just start laughing like crazy. At least if you're kind of sick and twisted like we are, you'll start laughing like crazy. At people dying on a roller coaster. It's not real. Come on. All right, we're gonna check it out. Here we go. Oh, we're getting right into the good part. Oh, right into a. That's a. Oh, wait, I forgot. It's Oh, that's really good. Oh, that's the one. Oh yeah. Oh my. Dummies. Oh, you see. It's actually even better than I remembered it. Oh, man.
Yeah, that was much better than I remembered it, too.
Wow, that's awesome.
Okay,
I forgot the intercut. There's a couple of scenes with real stunt guys doing some falls as part of this, like acting as if they're sliding out of like the car crashed. The coaster car crashed into a building, and then it was ejected and flew out further than the building. And they did that with a couple of real stuntmen at one point. And that just looks incredible when you see that. And then this, wow. Then one of the cars, you want to explain that? It crashes. It's on the track. It just, I guess it was the second car. So it just crashed into some of the side beams of the roller coaster and just like lost all its momentum and just comes to a dead stop. And then just slowly turns over on its side while it's still up on the track. And it's about 20, 30 feet up, and then the car, it's just a single car at this point, with all the people inside. It's just also the dummies, just goes totally upside down. So the people's heads, and you see their heads hit the pavement and get crushed by the train car.
That looks really, really nasty.
Oh, it's so nasty. I mean, I guess they got away with it because there's no blood. Because this is what, PG. Just PG, right? There was no 13 yet.
No, that didn't exist.
That didn't exist until Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
84. So yeah, this is just PG. It's fun for the whole family.
Yes.
It really is. It's so brutal when they crash, lose momentum, and just tip over, and then wow.
Well, what's really great about this, what I really love, is that they were pretty smart about it. It's not realistic exactly, but they crashed each individual car on the train in a different way to make that scene as long as possible. So each crash, they do something different. And I thought that was really cool because the first one crashes into a building. The second one, it tips over on its side.
That's the tip one.
The third one,
tips completely upside down.
Yeah, upside down.
Crushes the people.
Then the next one crashes through an amusement blinking light sign.
The third one, it crashes through the sign.
So each one of them does something different, and it's really great.
Crashes, and then and that third one, you just see it hit the ground at a like a 45-degree angle, straight forward, and you just see the dummies just get thrust forward like it would just break over their necks at that point.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so brutal.
Fantastic sequence.
But yeah, that is good. How all three the cars are all separated.
Yeah,
They're
that makes no sense.
Separate before it derails.
They each take their time doing their own crash.
Yeah, you see the one, and then it takes an extra.
They all crash someplace different too somehow.
Yeah, it makes no sense from a realistic standpoint, but it's great cinema. It's great.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. That is so much fun. Best scene in the movie.
Okay. And then
And that's early in the film. That's the
Right.
that's the
Well,
scene that
that's the
establishes
first
the
scene.
bomber.
Yeah, that's the opening of the movie. And then they eventually move into King's Dominion.
Yeah, King's Dominion. It was pretty close to brand new. I guess. I mean, it came out in '77, so I'm gonna imagine they filmed it '76. That park opened '75.
Brand spanking new.
A young King's Dominion at that time. Well, from the movie standpoint, I love what goes on. I guess the story at that point is this is where they're supposed to be dropping the money.
Yeah.
That the young man bomber has demanded, or else he will bomb and derail more roller coasters,
Right.
killing, I guess, another 28 to 32 people at a time. Not a high death count for a terrorist, if you think about it, but
Yeah, he could have taken out a flat ride or a train or something else.
well, he could have taken out
Sky ride.
like a sky ride. Well, he could have taken out something that wasn't an amusement park, really, and killed a lot more people.
Yeah.
He could have taken out like an actual train, passenger train during morning commute hours.
But he's got a thing for amusement
Take
parks
out a
for
few
some
hundred
reason.
people at a time instead of.
It's never explained why he targets amusement parks.
No, it's not.
Which is good. I like that. It's fine.
Well, it could
You
have
don't
done
need to
I
explain.
would like the funny little backstory. Like he was,
No, you don't.
he was.
It's fine.
The ride scared him when he was a kid, and now he's getting revenge.
Oh, no, it's fine.
And actually, we find out later on he actually likes roller coasters.
Who, Bottoms?
Yeah, I guess he says it's in the radio interview. They interview him, and he's like, "Oh, it's fine. It's fine."
Oh, that. Oh, well, yeah, he wrote Revolution with no reaction to it, really. You see him go through the
Yeah.
loop, and he's just stone-faced.
So maybe like he doesn't like it, but he has no problem with roller coasters.
Yeah.
If anything, he's not afraid.
Sir, I'm a reporter. How'd you like the ride? Sir?
It was fine. Just fine.
You can tell your grandchildren you were the first to ride on the Great American Revolution and live to tell about it. How would you compare it to other rides?
I think it will get a lot of attention.
So the story around during the Dominion, which is I guess it's pretty much the second act of the movie, is again they're dropping. They're supposed to be dropping the money, and they're actually waiting for directions from this young man bomber. I guess we should just call him Bottoms from now on. That makes it easier.
Bottoms, sure.
Since he doesn't have a name in the movie, and yeah, that's fine. So they're waiting for instructions, and instead of just setting up a drop point, for some reason he decides he wants to make, and it's George Segal who's the protagonist in the movie, and he's the guy who gets caught up in the whole thing, even though he's not a cop.
No,
or an
he's,
investigator. He's what? He's like an amusement ride inspector, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
That's what he is. And somehow he gets wrapped up in this, and he becomes the guy that.
Well, Bottoms picks him. He calls him up at his home
yeah.
and says, "Get on the plane to King's Dominion. You're the guy that I want."
Yes.
So then it turns into sort of a Dirty Harry, Die Hard with a Vengeance, wherever you've seen that. That's been done in a bunch of movies where Bottoms is keeping Segal busy. He's running him all around the park, giving him new directions every so often. He's got to ride the roller coasters. He's got to go on Music Express and
Well, that's
go
the
on the
thing.
monorail.
It's
and-
it's the directions. It's all just riding rides.
yeah. He's taking a tour of the park.
That's all it is. It's just go on this. Now go on that. Now
Yeah.
I want to see you on this. That's all it is. It's just this ride. So he rides Rebel Yell, and then. But it just gets so ridiculous though because it just goes on for so long. That's why I love it because it is so cheesy, but I love it.
Well, he's trying to wear them down, I guess.
I guess, but again, it's not really explained. It's just it's just so silly. He's on the Music Express. He's on the Enterprise, I think, at one point.
Well, you know what would have been funny is if Bottoms said, "Okay, now go on Rebel Yell," and he waits on the line, and then as soon as he gets to the station, he says, "All right, now get off the line, go wait on something else," and he just keeps making him wait on these lines, but he doesn't get to ride the rides. That would be really mean.
Yeah, that would be truly mean. I guess we should, yeah, they have, I guess, radios, right?
Yeah, he's talking to him. Bottoms and Segal are talking through a radio. That's
Yeah.
how they're communicating.
that was arranged like by Bottoms because that's what he wants.
Right. Yeah.
And
Bottoms is keeping an eye on him from the Eiffel Tower.
Yeah, he's on the Eiffel Tower the whole time, which is kind of ridiculous. They had like FBI guys that were, kind of running the show from a building backstage.
Yeah, that would be a really great place for a bad guy to keep an eye on things. You can see everything up there.
Well, it's like they couldn't figure that out. They wouldn't. They didn't. Never thought, let's check the giant tower in the middle of the park.
Yeah.
Instead, they just stay in a backstage building and let George Segal ride everything in the park. And then at one point, he makes him re-ride something. Isn't that's the line? Or is like,
You're having fun on the coaster, Harry? Ride it again.
He's riding the son of a bitch again.
he's just deadpan. His delivery, Timothy Bottoms as the evil guy. He makes him ride the sky ride.
Yeah, well, no, that's where he does maybe my favorite line in the whole movie. There's a point where George Segal finally loses it, sort of, and says to Bottoms,
You bastard.
Yes, in his thick New York Jewish accent.
yes. And it was clearly an overdub, too. They,
Because it's like it was kind of a wide shot, I think, right at that time. He's like in a sky ride bucket.
They had to do it again. Is it I don't remember. No, it's a close-up.
Oh, I guess it's a close-up.
It's a close-up.
Right. Yeah,
he's riding along fine, and all of a sudden it's just... It's kind of silent, and it's just, you bastard.
Yeah, he found out where the bomb was, and he gets really frustrated with him.
You bastard.
Well, from the movie standpoint, that's why it's great. Just because he's just riding, and the whole time he has the briefcase of money, too.
Right.
And he has the briefcase with him on every ride.
Yes.
So he's riding everything with his briefcase in his hand, or right next to him, or something, or in his arms. It's really silly.
Yeah.
Oh, there's the you win a carton of cigarettes.
Oh,
that's a
great.
prize for the. He makes him play a game at one point.
Yeah.
Play the game, and he does, and he plays and he wins. But the prize is a carton of cigarettes.
Yeah, that's a wow.
Well, it was 77.
That's a snapshot in time for you.
Yeah, when a carton of cigarettes was a prize for a theme park game.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir. You just won a carton of cigarettes.
I don't smoke.
You don't smoke.
So that's the great part of the greatness of that part of the movie for the movie and the story of the movie. Then it's also great just because it's some great footage of King's Dominion in circa 76, maybe or very early 77. Again, I don't know exactly when it was filmed. And you see a lot. The singing mushrooms.
Oh, that's
the
really
long
cool.
gone
Yeah.
singing mushrooms that were at the base of the lower sky ride station. The one that's since been part of Kidsville, and I think it might be part of the larger Planet Snoopy now.
I know you see the Ghoster Coaster for a minute. I don't know if that's what it was called.
Yeah, well, the actual money drop ends up being in the kiddie land, in the kiddie section at the kind of in the front of the park. Yeah, by whatever, I don't know what is it, Woodstock Express now?
Yeah, it's Woodstock Express now.
Yeah, so it's just some really great shots. You got the
carousel, I think, is in there for a minute.
Yeah,
The what is it called? Candy Apple
Grove.
Yeah, I think he walks down there a little bit.
Well, he's most of it is in Candy Apple Grove.
Yeah,
because he just goes from Rebel Yell to all the flats that line to Candy Apple Grove. Some of them are still there to this day, like the Wave Swinger, and the bumper cars, the scooters, or no, Dodge 'em. I think it's Dodge 'em there.
Mm-hmm.
But that's also where they had the Enterprise and Music Express and some other flats that are since gone. We're all along there. So I think it's where most of it was filmed in Candy Apple Grove, and the Sky Ride just went up and down Candy Apple Grove.
Yeah,
and and that's pretty much where he was. Yeah, you see how the Lake Charles there was full at that time before they filled most of it in for the water park and Italian Jobster. Yeah, it's just great. It's a great way to get some old King's Dominion footage.
Yeah, and it's also, and then they go to Magic Mountain, And it's great for the same reason. You get some nice vintage footage from that time period.
Yeah, well, Magic Mountain, and then is the climax of the movie, and same thing. Although for Magic Mountain, that they filmed in a much less of the park.
Yes,
it's all just the front. It's just the Revolution little plaza out in front of Revolution, down to the carousel and the gazebo.
Yeah,
in front of the carousel. In the movie, they had the band Sparks playing in the gazebo.
Yeah, the song is Big Boy.
They have Sparks playing Big Boy, an extended version of Big Boy.
But yeah, they play the song for, Jesus, it goes on for like 10 minutes at least.
Hey, it has to cover the whole scene.
Yeah, the entire ending, they're playing that song. It's I don't know. It's good, I guess.
Well, again, it's cheesy.
I like it. Yeah,
it's
it
so
makes me
cheesy,
laugh.
it's great. So the whole ending sequence is the bomb is on Revolution.
Yeah.
Which is just opening. So if this was, as I would imagine, filmed in '76, that was the opening year of that ride. So it actually was very much grounded in reality, that whole part. The fact that it was Revolution was the new ride, and it was Magic Mountain, and they just used all the real names. And I guess it was a win-win. Magic Mountain got great advertising through a movie.
Yeah.
By just using all the real names and everything.
Well, really, the whole movie is, I think, more grounded in reality than how amusement parks and roller coasters are portrayed in most other movies. Of course, there's a lot of stuff that's not, but it doesn't really have to do with the park exactly. Like, for instance, in King's Dominion, he gets a package delivered inside the park somehow from some delivery service. That doesn't make any sense.
Okay.
If you want UPS to deliver you a message inside King's Dominion, they're not going to be able to do that.
Really? You could try.
I don't know that. I don't think you'd be able to do that. But they don't make the coasters out to be something they're not, or any of the rides out to be something they're not. Like they run electronically, or they're not run by gravity. They don't do that kind of bullshit.
The one switch that controls every ride in the park simultaneously.
They don't do that either.
Yeah.
So all of the park and coaster stuff is actually very real.
Yeah, it is grounded in reality. The only larger-than-life aspect is the idea of the roller coaster inspector from the Virginia area, then getting taken on a cross-country adventure into California to try to stop some mad bomber. That, of course, is the larger-than-life and silly.
Yeah.
The idea of you're trying to terrorize and I was going to say ransom. It's not really a ransom situation exactly. Right?
No, he just
kidnapping.
wants money. No. It's terrorism.
Terrorism, I guess. But the idea of terrorism, bombing roller coaster tracks as terrorism, and it was just small little charges.
Yeah. That
he just blows out like one rail, just so that when the next coaster train gets to that point in the track, it just derails.
Yeah.
And that's all it is.
You know what? No, the opening scene is not, the crash in the opening scene is not real. That's not reality.
When they actually show what a crash would look like, yes. Yeah. It's ridiculous.
That's very Hollywood, very cinematic, very enjoyable.
Yeah, so those are the larger than life aspects, but yeah, they treat the setting as amusement parks and rides at just the way it is.
Yeah. And I really appreciate that.
There's
like that.
no hyper reality or anything, which most other movies have not done that.
No, not at all.
Movies that came in the years after this really, started getting really silly, taking a lot of creative license with the idea of what controls a ride and what drives a ride and what would happen if the control panel was bumped into or hit with a bullet and just this kind of stuff, which is just totally ridiculous. Yeah, I guess I never thought about that too deeply before, but now that you mentioned it, yeah, that is another reason probably why I like this movie so much. This is definitely my favorite movie that features amusement parks. For sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
It's mine too.
And it's great.
That features a real amusement park. Maybe I should
multiple.
say.
Yeah, multiple, 3
Yeah.
parks, and quite a few rides feature prominently. A lot of roller coaster screen time.
Yeah,
on this one.
The thing's called Rollercoaster. They deliver and show you a lot of roller coasters.
Yeah, it's really, really good movie. And George Segal, I think, delivers a pretty great performance.
Yeah, interesting casting.
I really liked him in this movie. It's really what introduced me to him and made me like him.
Yeah.
Was this movie, Rollercoaster?
Speaking of Magic Mountain, maybe the next most well-known or just famous movie that has a scene in an amusement park is National Lampoon's Vacation. And the ending of that movie takes place at Magic Mountain.
What year was this?
That was 1983, I believe.
So a few years later. And this is easily... This really actually... I actually probably like this just as much as Rollercoaster. Now, I already said Rollercoaster was my favorite movie to feature amusement parks, but...
well,
it's definitely it's my second favorite, for sure. But it really... Depending on my mood, it could easily give Rollercoaster a run for its money for my top. Because this is also... This is just a great movie otherwise.
Well, this is one of my favorite films ever.
Just period.
This is a masterpiece.
It's just a great movie otherwise. The whole bulk of the movie, though, the other 3/4 of the movie that don't take place in a park are all great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
It's great comedy. Some great lines in this movie.
Oh, a ton of great lines.
It's really
a ton of great scenes.
Great
it's
film.
all good.
Yeah. But yes, the entire climax of the movie takes place in Magic Mountain. And in this case, Magic Mountain is Wally World.
Very obviously supposed to be a takeoff on Walt Disney.
Yes, it's Roy Wally instead of Walt Disney.
Right.
And there was Roy Disney was his brother. Yeah. But Roy Wally and Wally World. It's in California, and the family has to get in the family truckster and drive...
like halfway across the country.
Half cross country, yeah. They're from Chicago to Southern California, where Wally World is. This one I feel most anyone we're talking to must have seen. So I don't think I need to go through, what actually happens. But I guess let's just focus for a few minutes on the park and how they use the park. Well, and this is also grounded in reality, I suppose, too, just as much as Rollercoaster. I mean, they don't do anything.
No, not really.
No? Oh, okay. All right.
Really.
All right. I know where you're going. Okay, go ahead.
Well, the first thing is that the park is closed. Mm-hmm. They close the entire park. It's in California, in Southern California, where any park should be open year-round.
I don't know if they ever give the date, but it's pretty obvious that it's summer.
Yeah.
Because they're living somewhere in the suburbs of Chicago, and they're leaving their house in shorts and T-shirts to go on the family's summer vacation.
Right.
And that's pretty obviously implied. If not, if a date may even be given, I'm not sure. I don't remember the movie verbatim. I don't have the script in my hand, but it is summer. So it's summer, and it's a park in Southern California, and yes, the entire park is closed for maintenance or something, right?
Yeah.
That's the reason? Yeah.
Sorry, folks, park's closed. The moose out front should have told you.
So that's ridiculous right off the bat.
Well, yeah.
And... actually, now that I think about it, you never see anything under construction or any real maintenance going on in the park either. They say it's closed for maintenance, but
yeah, they didn't follow through with that in any way.
Yeah, they didn't put anything fake movie-ish in there to convey that. But whatever.
Right, some fake scaffolding or
anything.
A lift
just
or
some
something.
Paint buckets or something. Nothing.
Yeah, or like there would be some guys in hard hats and with paint buckets that they'd knock over at some point in some kind of comedic chase or something. Yeah, you think they might have done that.
Yeah.
But they didn't do that.
But yeah, the park is just there as is.
Right.
So they go to ride the roller coasters and
they go to ride everything.
Yeah. Well, right. Well, whatever they go to ride, it requires no operator to run the thing. They can just all get in there, and it just goes.
Yeah, so the park wasn't even open, but they forced their way in, and there's only one security guard there.
Yeah.
The great John Candy.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then it's not like they make John Candy run the rides for them. It's he goes on the rides with them.
Right.
And there's no operator. The rides just on their own just go, whichever ride they want to do. They hit like the Scrambler. There's a couple of those. Tilt-A-Roll maybe? There's a couple of flats they do.
Well, they do one of the Hampton little ones. The
Oh, that's right. They do a kitty ride. Yeah.
What are those called?
Buggies. Is it the buggies or is it the motorcycles?
I think it's the motorcycles, I want to say.
Yeah.
But they do that, and they do Revolution and Colossus, and I think that's about as far as they get.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There was much more there.
Yeah.
In '83.
Did they have the Rapids?
No idea. Hey, you Southern California folks. Write us. Let us know. What did Magic Mountain have in '83?
Oh, they must have had. They had Gold Rusher, but they didn't ride it in the film.
Yeah, they never went to the back of the park.
Yeah.
They covered more ground than they did in Rollercoaster, but not
much.
Still not the entire park.
Yeah.
Just the front, and they go in Colossus, so they go as far as.
Well, yeah.
That's pretty.
But they don't
deep
show you
in the park. But they don't show them walking all the way there.
Yeah.
It's just kind of they're on Colossus, and then they're back to the front again.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rides operate themselves. That's really makes no sense at all. All right, so yes, so immediately even in by '83 you started to lose that reality. The whippersnapper.
Well, that's yeah. I like how they switched out the real names of the rides, at least the coasters, and Revolution in the movie is really called what? What is it?
The whippersnapper. That's whippersnapper.
I think that one's I think that is. And then what's Colossus?
Colossus is the Screamy Mimi.
Screamy Mimi. Let's go. Get in the front.
And to this day, 30 years later, no one has used one of those names.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Better than Millennium Force. Jeez. That could have been Screamy Mimi. What's wrong with that? The old Mimi never screamed this much.
So, great movie. I really enjoy the park sequence at the end. It's fun.
It's great. No, they don't coach the state of Florida.
Yeah.
I want you to ask yourself one thing. If you were me, wouldn't you do the same thing for your children?
No.
No.
No. Yeah. Yeah. Well, the big one we haven't mentioned is Beverly Hills Cop 3. Because that is another...
That actually does revolve around a theme park.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah, that's a case of that. That's not just a scene or a couple scenes. That is the whole movie. The predominant setting of the movie is inside of a park.
So I guess that really is the other one, is Rollercoaster and then Beverly Hills Cop 3. Yeah,
takes place in Paramount. Well, then Paramount's Great America. Now California's Great America. And features quite a few rides predominantly feature in the movie. And there's a lot of stuff in the background, a lot of backdrop action. I know you see the train at one. This movie was 93, right?
Yeah, I believe so.
So they still had the train at that point, which they no longer do now, and that features just in the backdrop of a scene or two.
Oh, it was 94 actually.
I don't know what else.
Well, they do a whole scene on the Intamin. What is that called again? I can never remember the name of that.
Oh, I don't know what the technical name is.
No, well, what did Hershey Park?
It was Giant Wheel.
Yeah,
Hershey Park's Giant Wheel was a double version. And this was the triple version. The triple wheel. I think it was just a triple wheel. I think it was the Intamin triple wheel.
That's a wacky ride.
That triple-sided Ferris wheel. Yeah, it's really a shame that none of those are around anymore. I think that's a real shame. But those were so unique. An extended scene with one of those. That's where the bad guy shoots the control panel. And
no, he doesn't. He
No?
just takes it over. He pushes the guy out of the way and starts pushing buttons and stuff, and the
Pushing
thing goes
buttons,
haywire.
pulling levers, and
Yeah.
Okay, that's what happens.
No, the bad guy is because he's chasing Axel Foley. He's chasing Eddie Murphy, and he knocks the operator out of the way and starts doing the controls himself because he's trying to get the ride down, I think, so he can get at Axel.
All right.
And the ride just goes.
And then they just cut to a shot of just random gears just
yeah.
starting to spin out of control and spark up, and then the whole thing starts falling apart. The buckets start falling off.
yeah.
That's another case of someone trying to get away. This time it's the hero, but just as stupid.
Yeah.
You're trying to get away, so you corner yourself by getting into a ride.
Right. Why would you do that?
That they can just wait. The people who are pursuing you can just wait for the cycle to end and
Right.
get you when it's over.
Yes.
Because they're going to know exactly where you're going to be. Yeah, it's a great scene on the triple wheel there. Well, and this is another Disney ripoff. They're using Great America,
Yeah.
but it's supposed to be Disney, more or
Right.
less.
It's Uncle Dave, I think. In
They
this
have
movie.
an Uncle Dave who's there again. Who's the Walt Disney ripoff, and the park is called Wonder World in the movie.
Yeah.
Complete with a song and a mascot and a dance that the mascot does. And
fantasies come true. It's a happy whoop-de-doo. Wonder world, where happiness is king.
and the underground system of tunnels.
Oh yes, Utilidors. Yeah.
They even
threw
did
in
that
there.
for this, which I know Great America doesn't really have.
No, I think
Pretty
Magic Kingdom.
Pretty
is
sure,
it.
yeah. Magic Kingdom is the only system like that. And they did that for this. You know, they obviously were going for the Disney.
Yeah.
And as such, they go beyond just Great America. They use there's some good stuff where guys getting shot out of skyride buckets during the climax of the movie, and some stuff like that. But then they go beyond just Great America, and they use some other things. They use Earthquake from Universal Studios,
Yeah.
because I guess they're trying to push the idea that it has more than just regional park style rides, because it's supposed to be like a Disney park
Yeah.
in
Right.
the movie. So they had
I think it's called Alien Attack in the movie.
a little movie magic and make edit another park in, or at least one ride from another park, and trying to make it as if it's in that other park. It's all part of Wonder World in the movie.
Yeah.
So yeah, they use that Earthquake to good effect.
Mm.
He went up those stairs, and then water comes
Yeah.
down, and then that, and
So-
yeah. So it is. They use the actual earthquake. They obviously really filmed it in Earthquake, I guess, and I'm sure the California one,
Probably.
since that's
yeah,
where they
that would
were
make sense.
for the movie. Otherwise, so there's the Earthquake. They integrated that into Wonder World, and then they also just created their own ride for the movie. There's a fictitious attraction.
Oh, at the end?
Yeah, that's actually the very final sequence of the movie, which I thought was kind of odd. They use Earthquake, and to great effect, and then they couldn't use anything else or figure anything else out for the actual climactic battle of the movie.
Yeah, it's really strange.
So then they create their own ride, a dark ride. What was it's a dinosaur kind of Ice Age theme ride, but it is odd. They just made up their own dark ride.
Yeah,
and they just have a little shootout amongst some of the animatronic dinosaurs, and a couple ride vehicles go by. So that's interesting.
Yeah.
But again, I guess it's just trying to pack other things in that are more Disney-esque into the otherwise Paramount's Great America. So I don't know if there's much more to say about that movie. So that's a good one, though. I like that one.
No, I like
that's a fun
Beverly Hills Cop 3
cheesy.
also.
I mean, as far as I know, anyone who really likes the Beverly Hills Cop franchise, or like the first one and even maybe the second one, probably thinks the third one is ridiculous and
Yeah.
You know, I guess it'd be the Batman and Robin of Beverly Hills Cop movies, something like that. But I just like it as a standalone movie. I guess just because I like amusement parks, and parks features so prominently in that. I guess I'm biased in that sense. But yeah, it's a cheese fest otherwise. It really is.
I'm with you on that one.
Anything else? I mean, we covered most of the major ones. Might as well save other ones for a part 2 or something. Yeah, so many more. Yeah, we'll do another part of this one day. Thanks for riding.
Turn that fucking song off!
Hey guys, we'd love to know what you think. Post a comment or question on thanksforriding.tumblr.com, or you can email us at thanksforriding@yahoo.com. We're on Facebook too.
Facebook? You guys are on your own.